Here's Fox News. Harris Faulkner upset that federal tax dollars would go to, in any way, alleviate the suffering of people who are unhoused. And I mean, just first off, if the moral obligation that we have to people who we share a society with so that they are not immiserated is not enough for you, you would think that in the course of a pandemic, you would be like, maybe not a great idea to have people unhoused during a pandemic. I mean, like, even like if you cannot bring yourself to have an ounce of compassion for people, and it's not even really compassion. At the end of the day, like, look, there's so much stuff that our federal tax dollars go to subsidize this guy's life as he sits on television. But if you can't even do it, you would think that at least you would have the sense to sort of say, like, this might even be actually in my interest on some level. Here is Harris Faulkner.
Federal tax dollars, as in your dollars and mine, may pay to house homeless people in San Francisco hotels. This after President Biden signed an executive order allowing for certain kinds of emergency homeless housing to be eligible for reimbursement. San Francisco reportedly has one of the highest homeless populations in the nation. It spends $15 to $18 million a month to house 2,200 homeless people in 25 hotels. First of all, if we're going to talk about charity, Emily, I'm coming to you because this is your domain out there on the West Coast. If we're going to talk about charity, we can't get some of those hotels to play ball to get that cost down. 2,200 people for $18 million a month. I mean, can we start there? And we all have a heart to help the homeless, but these numbers existed far before the pandemic.
That's exactly right. And in fact,
we all want to help the homeless, but they existed before the pandemic. So do we really want to help the homeless?
Yeah, I mean, just the conflation of charity and like what government does. And that's implicit. It's like they don't even question it. Should the government be improving people's lives? No, that's for charity. That's for me and my rich friends to dress up and go to galas and
get tax breaks.
Yeah, and then we can write it off after we did a charity for like 2 people who have arthritis, and then we took a ton of pictures for Instagram, and that's what made us feel really good about ourselves.
Well, what drives me crazy, these are the same people who, they do, if you're in New York, New York Post loves to shame the homeless on the streets, the homeless crisis with the hotels. It's all about the homeless. And yet when it comes to the solutions, God forbid they get involved in that. They have no problem attacking the homeless on the streets, saying it's disgusting, it's making the city dangerous, all the smears that they do all day long. But when it comes to actual solutions, or frankly, even an opportunity for a tax break, great, start a foundation, Harris.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, put that aside for a moment. Let's just look, you just look at Wikipedia and just look at the various sort of like benefits that she has received from the government. She started her career at a television station that was broadcasting over the airwaves. Our airwaves.
Our money.
Airwaves. Part of my material assets that she built her career off of. You're welcome. And then she was, I think, born on an army base. Interesting.
Socialist land, socialized or right?
Yep, I imagine
you could paint it
she's
like
getting subsidized insurance because her dad.
But that hospital was a public,
was
VA
it
hospital.
A government-run hospital with my tax dollars.
Did she live in a house on the army base with her family?
Oh, without a doubt.
That's my fucking house.
Well,
Does she have a car? Emma, you should just walk in her and just start stealing things.
You know what?
It's just like this idea, like our tax dollars are actually going to help house people.
Who also, by the way,
tax dollars are also going to subsidize your mortgage tax deduction. So, I don't know.
The other thing is, like, how many homeless are working and are paying taxes? So they're paying into it.
But this problem existed before COVID. So we all want to be compassionate, but this started before COVID. I mean, come on.